Sorry for not recording for a while. I mean, I had to move back into college. I thought I had COVID for a while, but I didn't. I'm fine. It was a slow news week anyway, really. I mean, I don't think I really missed much. Wait, never mind. Everyone lost their damn mind. So Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris to be his VP. And a lot of people on the left are describing her as a pragmatic moderate, which I wouldn't describe her as a moderate. She's definitely further left than Joe Biden on many issues like taxes, like Medicare for all, like in the environment. She's certainly further left than what I would consider a moderate, but she is certainly not the radical that the people on the right are making her out to be. I mean, you would think that Joe Biden picked Karl Marx to be his vice president. The people on the right are going crazy over this, and it honestly feels very boilerplate. Like, it doesn't matter who Joe would have picked, they were going to levy these attacks at whoever he picked. And the simple reason that I see for this is that Trump is doing very poorly in early polling, which, early polling said that Clinton was going to win, so they're not the most trustworthy, but they are indicators. And Trump is not doing well. And because of this, conservative outlets like Fox News and, the Daily Wire, they are levying a lot of attacks against Kamala, mainly to scare moderate and Republican voters away from a Biden-Harris ticket. So what a lot of them are doing is basically saying that Joe Biden is going to be a drooling mess by week 3 of his presidency. So if you elect Kamala Harris as your VP, you're basically electing her as your president.
Hey, by the way, this lady's going to be president. She's going to be president. You vote for Joe Biden, he becomes president. She is the president.
But the first thing to know about Harris is that in just a few months, she could run your country. If Joe Biden wins the presidential election, Kamala Harris effectively will become the president of the United States.
And then they, like I said, try and paint her in as much as a radical light as possible in order to scare moderate Republicans and independents from voting for a Biden-Harris ticket.
We'll also show you her very most radical socialist positions, from police to fracking, the consumption of red meat, and even the elimination of straws, and all private health care plans. They would be outlawed, and her support of gun bans by executive fiat.
When the entire electorate is as passive as Joe Biden has become, you can pretty much do what you want. You can wield total control. That's what Harris is arguing. Say what you will about that position, but it is not in any sense moderate. It's radical.
And let's meet, guys. Also, let's ban plastic straws. She will use the government to do anything. That's what she said about plastic.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes.
No, what actually happened there is that Kamala Harris was like, I want to ban plastic straws. And then she realized halfway through that the replacement straws are absolute crap. And so she's like, but they're really bad, the replacement straws, but I still want to ban them because I'm an authoritarian jerk.
Was Ben Shapiro raised by plastic straws? Why is he so angry about this? Like I said, she is not really a conventional moderate, but she certainly is not as far left as, let's say, a Sanders or an AOC. She's not going to upend the entire American system. She really is not. And thinking about it pragmatically, it really doesn't make any sense for Joe Biden to pick a radical candidate. I mean, people on the far left, people that I would consider radical left, they're already never going to vote for Trump. There's no way. So there's no reason for him to target that vote. What he wants to target are the moderate Republicans, the moderate Democrats, the independents that are maybe not so convinced about a Joe Biden presidency. Those are the people that he's trying to sway away from possibly voting for Trump. So he's really not incentivized to pick a radical candidate. And that's why he didn't pick a radical candidate. He picked someone that's, like I said, not necessarily moderate by conventional standards, but certainly someone that is not radical. She has 2 positions that I would consider the furthest left. The first of that being she's in favor of Medicare for all. And depending on the poll you look at, around 55% to 70% of Americans are in favor of Medicare for all, so I don't really think you can consider that radical. If you don't want Medicare for all, if you disagree with that, then that's a conversation we can have, but I don't think at this point we can consider that a radical position. The other position that she has that I would consider further left than a typical moderate would have is that she wants to ban fracking. And there is a very interesting conversation we can have about fracking, because obviously fracking is not great for the environment. It has very bad effects on the environment. But it does employ a lot of Americans, and more importantly, fracking is much better for the environment than a lot of alternatives. So there is an interesting conversation you can have. If the fact that she wants to ban fracking makes her a radical in your opinion, then that's your prerogative, but I don't think so. Another thing to remember is that Kamala Harris is being nominated for the vice presidency, not the presidency. I know people are saying that she'll have more influence than someone like Mike Pence. Think like a chair. Act like a chair. Be the chair. Because of concerns about Joe Biden's mental health, and believe me, I'm very concerned about that too. It is definitely a real concern. But at the end of the day, Kamala Harris is still the vice president. Joe Biden is somewhat of a functioning human. He's going to be the president, and the vice president is very limited in its influence. She's not going to I don't think she's going to be the second coming of Dick Cheney. I really don't. But at the end of the day, she is very experienced in politics. She is very qualified for this position, and she is a historic candidate for this position. And like I said, I don't think that this pick will be that consequential because it is just the VP. I'm sure after the election, if Joe Biden is elected, people won't really be talking about Kamala Harris because the vice president is just not that big of a role. But anyways, please let me know what you think about Kamala Harris. I'm extremely interested to hear whether you think that she's more radical than I think, whether you think that she's more moderate than I think, do you think she's a good pick, a bad pick, anything you have to say about her, I'm really interested to hear. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be safe. Have a good day. See ya.